Can we democratize urban planning? That's a question that we ask with Henry, because democracy has been one of the greatest tools to bring change to our lives. But urban planning has been always in a gray area. And you might ask, why? Because we cannot duplicate land. That's why real estate is so valuable. But with my friend, we started to think, is it possible to do this? Can we duplicate the land in a way? What if we could create a twin of Hamburg? A place to test freely, a place to make mistakes, a place to be you, the innovator, the architect, the one who brings mobility in a new way, new ideas, and be free that you are not gonna do something that you will regret later. How will we create that place? We can use satellite images, combine it with deep learning, or is it called artificial intelligence? And with video games technology, if you have ever played Mario or any Zelda game, you know that these virtual worlds already exist. So the combination of all these things can create us the twin of Hamburg. You might be wondering, is that even possible? Because that sounds really, really expensive. That we might invest a couple of millions of euros. But the answer is, hey, we can collaborate with companies like Avis Reality. They are already creating this twin of our planet, and they are doing it in the way that I explained you. They are not the only one. There are multiple companies creating these twins of our planet. And this is a way in how we can duplicate the land and start playing with the twin of Hamburg. Then we need to focus in the democratization of the process to build a real urban planning. How will we create it? The first stage is to get the app, the place to test. The second one is to organize the citizens by regions. At least in Madrid, we have areas that you are allocated. For example, I can go to the hospital only where I'm indicated. I cannot go everywhere else. If there is an emergency, absolutely. So we need to organize them. Then we build an e-voting system, because the best idea is that you can vote in real time for what you want to change. Think it like this. I think it's unfair that someone from Berlin or Frankfurt will decide what in Hamburg is going to affect because they live significantly far. Or imagine someone from Warsaw appears for a weekend and decide, hey, this is what we would like to see. So no, the people living there are the ones who need to decide it. And the government or the people in charge should define certain KPIs. We would like to have more bicycles in this area. We need more trees here. So the government defines the KPIs where you are going to be the innovator. And the last part is marketing. How do we get the data? Hey, the GeoPortal already gives you some important information. In the old town, approximately 1,000 people are living there. We just create a small square and it's giving us that precise details that we can integrate in the twin of Hamburg. The next part, how do we collect the proposals? The innovators download the second Hamburg. They design their proposal and test them if they meet the requirements. After that, they approach the people living in the area defined and see what are their opinions. If enough people approve it, then it's gonna be auto-submitted to the parliament. But who can submit ideas to our project? The government, civil engineers, architects, let's suppose even your students, the people who many times, well, they are not listened so often, or regular people that has the technical knowledge. In my opinion, as a foreigner who has lived in 4 countries, people who have lived at least 3 years in the town should be able to provide their own ideas. The next part, for the approvals, the parliament receives the new ideas. They check if they like it or they don't like it. If they think there is something to improve, they provide feedback. And if not, they can request other ideas for the area. In the end, the citizens vote again. Hey, do we want these changes or we don't want these changes? If there is an approval, then the government can authorize the budget, do the required steps, and start building the change. The benefits of our process, first, it reduces cost. Why? Because you are the one who will test. It's not the same that I'm going to bring a couple of bricks, put them somewhere else, bring a lot of other materials like metals or other things that are expensive, and they are not exactly what you expect. The second one, you empower the citizens from 2 ways. One, I am the person who is bringing ideas to Hamburg. The second one, I decide for what is good for me. So you are empowering people and the people feel more confident in doing the changes. you are not exactly so confident when you're going to do a change every 4 years and I don't know what is the process. The other benefit is that this kind of solution can allow you to test different seasons. Hey, when I was playing these video games, you can test in winter, even if it's during the summer. And the most important, it is scalable, replicable, and timeless. We can deploy it to Warsaw, Hamburg, or other countries like Spain. How to monetize the project? The first part, we consider to go to Horizon Europe to collect a couple of, I would say at least $100,000 or euros to be precise. We build a monthly subscription fee that the people we're gonna collaborate with the City Hall. We can build some plugins for extra features and perhaps some browser support. I have been wild that I believe that people should be able to access it from everywhere. But that last part, I believe, is for a next chapter. And our unique selling points? We have the technical skills, and I know certain people since I have a podcast where I interview technical people, and I know how to build the first part. Also, my colleague Henry is an expert in urban planning. He's handling in this area, and we can help to design the collaboration and integration. We can help the marketing part, and we can personalize the platform for each of our clients, since they can be different countries, different cities. But in the beginning, we'll focus on Europe, North America, and perhaps Australia and New Zealand, which is where there is more information and is reliable. Are you ready to join us? Hopefully, you have some questions for us.
Thank you, Federico. Once again, the interaction in your presentation, it stopped. Now it's time to give the chance that the jury members ask questions in reference to your solution. So who will start? Laia?
Thank you very much, Federico, for this impressive presentation and the way you talk and how you your body language and so on, and the ideas that you are proposing. I have a question concerning fraud, because this is a participative process to take some decisions that may cost taxpayers a lot of money. How would you deal fraud? How would you deal, let's say, as an example, a very practical example, if I have a company that sells benches, and I ask all my friends that they vote to buy my benches, this is not very democratic, and the system itself should avoid this kind of fraud. Have you thought about these issues? Thank you very much.
The main thing is that since you're living in specific regions,
I would like to answer that question. In the e-voting platform, like you have to register with your ID, and we would have to connect the City Hall registration information that we have to do, like every citizen in Europe has to go and get registered in the City Hall. So you can only vote if that project affects you. It's like, for example, I'm living in Barcelona and I live in the district of Sants Montjuïc, so I could not vote on the 4 projects that affect the district of I don't know, like Sants or Eixample, right? Like other districts. So like if you have like a City Hall, like the City Hall registration is going to help us to evade fraud, because in order to do this, like you would have to have many friends in the area that it's affected by the project, and that they would have to register in the City Hall, and they would have to be living in the area of impact of the project.
Okay, thank you.
In Spain, we have a process that is called empadronamiento. I really don't know how it's called in English, but the thing is that this process is like when I go to the social care, I know that the social care in Germany is different, but for example, this is my social care resident, let's not residence card, but the medical that we have, I have a doctor appointed and I can only go to that specific place. There are like 4 hospitals near where I live, but I can only go to one because based on the empadronamiento, they assign me to one area. So that should be a similar process, I believe, in other countries. I used to live in Poland, and there is a similar process that when I go to get my residence card, and I believe that this is the best way to avoid, let's say, those magical things. Most likely you have a lot of friends, but I think that you should have you should be like, I don't know, like an icon or a superstar to persuade the majority of living there.
No, and the information is there. The point is if you are allowed to use this information as a private entity. I don't think so. But well, you have thought about these issues. That's good. Thank you. Yeah, answering my question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Well, I can make a question regarding your digital twin. Are you going to let a citizen to use your marvelous twin to test their solutions?
Yes, that's the main goal of the twin, that you as the citizen, you are the changer, that you go to the Microsoft store or the Android store, wherever it's in the end deployed, because that will depend on the agreements that you have with the governments, and you download it. In the end, you should be able to, I'm gonna test it. Of course, if I don't have the technical knowledge, it will be a little bit difficult to test my ideas. But the main thing is that, for example, I'm studying architecture in the University of Hamburg. Then I do my design as my master thesis. I go download the application, test if this can be changed in my environment. And if I want to, but if I want to get the approval, I need to go to the citizens living there. And if they approve it, then this is going to be sent to the parliament. If they say no, then of course it's no, it's up to, in the end, the citizens are the ones who should decide. And in this way, we can, for example, modify even the way of the streets they are working and minimize a lot of the cost.
Yeah, I want to add on that. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Lisa. There's like two steps in which citizens can like access the platform. One is for when they open the call for proposals, like we with the City Hall working together, we open the call for proposals, because it's the City Hall planning department who decides like, okay, we want to intervene this area of the city and make it like more usable and more, you know, like pedestrian friendly or whatever the objective is. So when it's the open call for proposals, they can download like the part of the city that would be impacted by it. So they can like do some work in AutoCAD or whatever CAT platform they use, because the thing is that this platform offers us to work with like to export it in different formats for people to work on and for them to do so. Afterwards, that's another extension that we were thinking. Like I was talking to some colleagues, and they said like, okay, and what if the citizen that wants to vote and wants to go to this place and see how it looks right now and wants to compare every proposal can do it. Like you could do it too. Like you go with your phone, like when you do I don't know, like Google Street View, or like sometimes even Google can give you like augmented reality, and you can show your camera and it will show you like the add-ons using your GPS data, like that you approve for the app to use, and you can see like in augmented reality in your smartphone how it would look. But they can also access, like if they don't feel like going to the place because you know it's too much energy, like is it really that important for me, like you can do it as you would be scrolling Instagram at home. So you can go and see like Google Street View as a citizen how the area would look in the platform that we're providing.
Just to clarify that part, that should be like a step process. In the very beginning, we would like that people use it from their, let's say, devices, not the augmented reality or that part, because previous projects were, because we did some research and they, because of their, let's say, over ambition, they were not as successful as expected. So the main goal is like something like Google Earth, something like that for specific regions, because it's easier to test, easier to manage, and without going into the massive expenses that is like, I don't think that is require a lot, especially that now we're working from home. So you can access your PC at any time.
Yeah.
Thank you.